Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Before we get started with the video, let's just give you a little bit of channel update. I know you already must be thinking that who is he, where is Roshan, where is Ravi, where is Ruhul, where are the OG CCI members? So as you know, Roshan went to London for his masters and Ruhul and Ravi have been caught up with a lot of office work. So they haven't been able to put a lot of content out there. So I used this as an opportunity and I hit one of them up and I said that I would love to make videos for Corporate Chess India, and I myself love speaking and I'm a chess enthusiast. I'll not say I'm a chess amateur or a chess professional, but a chess enthusiast. Been playing chess for a couple of years and is rated around 1800 to 1900. So I'll be here putting out some content for you all. And Roshan, Ravi, and Rahul, they all will be back very soon with some great fun tournaments. So if you haven't already, do subscribe to the channel. So let's get started with the game. Before we get started with the game, some background on the game. This game is being played with between Vaishali R and Divya Deshmukh. Vaishali R with the white pieces and Divya Deshmukh with the black pieces. Vaishali R, who comes from the state of Tamil Nadu, also happens to be uh, the sister of Pragnananda. Pragnananda, who was in the news for beating Magnus Carlsen. She is the elder sister of Pragnananda. Divya Deshmukh is a very young, talented junior coming from Maharashtra. She's 16 years old, and we all know her from 2020 Olympiad from her H4, H5, and she's also known as the CEO. Okay, so this game was played in the National Women's Chess Championship that is happening this time. That is being really well conducted by AICF. And while as of now I'm recording the video, Divya Deshmukh has already won the tournament and has been crowned the National Women Chess Championship of India. So let's just look at the standings before this game. Before Divya took on Vaishali, Divya was leading with 6.5 out of 7 and Vaishali was on 5.5 out of 6. As you can see that Divya was, a full point ahead, but Vaishali is of course the rating favorite, rated 100 elo points over Divya, and Vaishali is playing with the white pieces, so Vaishali is going to give this game her all, like try very hard to win this game. So let's just look at what happens in the game. Okay, so the first move of course had been leaked here when I started the video. So Vaishali opens the game with pawn to e4, Divya responds with pawn to e5. Here Vaishali plays the move knight to f3, Divya responds with knight f6. Oh, again very smart decision by Divya, not going for her, she plays the knight off a lot with the black pieces, but of course avoiding all that because she would be really happy with the draw because this is just the second last round and she's leading with a full point. So even two draws wouldn't do her any harm. So she plays knight f6, going into the Petrov. Knight takes e5, d6, kicking away the knight, knight f3, knight takes e4, and we reach this very famous position that has been, reached millions of times. And there are many moves that can be played here. There's d4, there is d3, there is knight to c3, there's queen to e2. I mean, what not? So here, Vaishali plays a somewhat of a sideline, but is, you know, that is also playable. Vaishali plays the move pawn to c4. Here, of course, trying to surprise Divya, but Divya very quickly responds with knight c6, one of the main lines. And here Vaishali thinks for a couple of minutes and plays the move pawn to d4. However, the main line, of course, is knight to c3, asking the knight, what do you want to do? Do you want to go back to knight f6? Giving that loses tempo. Also, one way could have been to play knight takes c3, b takes c3, g6, d4, and probably bg7. One way to play. So Vaishali plays the move d4, and after d4, Divya thinks for a couple of minutes here and strikes in the center with d5. Aiming to play some kind of bishop b4, and looking at these dark squares and getting some play here. Here again, Vaishali thinks for a solid 20 minutes here, which is quite strange, especially when you're playing with the white pieces and it's just move number 7. Nowadays everybody's like prepared till move number 14, 15, or whatever. So here just move number 7, and Vaishali is thinking for 20 minutes and plays the move knight to c3. which actually is looks optically okay. You want black to take here, of course you don't want to be the one taking, you want black to take here. But of course Divya plays the best move here, bishop to b4, putting pressure on this knight, on this diagonal. Vaishali responds with queen to c2, defending this knight. Okay, so here a very interesting idea for black could have been to go bishop f5. But the problem with bishop f5 is that white can easily defend with bishop d3, and unlike most positions, you can't distract this bishop with d takes c4, because after d takes c4 the knight on e4 is hanging, and like black can just be a piece up. So Divya realized that she can't actually go for bishop f5 ideas because white can easily defend with bishop d3. So here Divya came up with a very, very, very interesting move. I really loved this move. I really loved her thought process behind it. She played the move queen to e7, reinforcing this knight, defending this knight once again, and not only like defending this knight once again, this queen to e7 also has its own threats. The threats of knight takes e3 with a discovery check on king. So what Vaishali does is get rid of all of these discovery checks and calmly plays the move bishop to e3, which wasn't which wasn't one of the most accurate moves. We'll see why. So let's just go back and try to understand what was the best move here. There's just one move that solves all the problems in the position for the white pieces, and it's like very difficult to play. It's not a human move, it's an engine move. I just can't imagine a human making a sort of this move. The best move here is king to d1, stepping away from here, stepping away from all kind of pins, and line could go like bishop takes c3, b takes c3, maybe bishop f5, going maybe cd5, attacking this, knight g3, queen d2, knight takes h1, you're winning that knight, and probably going for this queen trade because your king is not safe. So if queen trade is of course going to benefit white, and probably I feel that within this kind of position it is white who's playing for two results here with couple of bishops, with the central pawns, this knight not coming out, and it is king f1, king g1. I mean, it's just white that is playing for two results. It's just either white winning or white drawing this. So of course king d1 was a much better move there. So let's just go back to the game. Bishop e3 on the board. Divya plays bishop f5, and then here Vaishali could have gone again bd3, but sorry about that. Vaishali could have gone bd3, but then there was dc4 and all sorts of complications. So Vaishali just plays a3, knight to g3, attacking the rook, attacking this bishop, looking at this queen. So many things are hanging on the board. It's all such a mess on the board. Vaishali plays queen a4 with some ideas of d takes c5 and utilizing this pin somehow. Since Divya's bishop is hanging, she takes, and here Divya very interestingly plays the move knight takes f1 and doesn't go for the rook, which is actually a very tough decision to make. Let's just look at why knight takes h1 wasn't the best move here. Let's say knight takes h1, c takes d5, you're losing this piece. So let's say black castles, you take here, black takes here, and probably this is a much better position for white here because this knight is not coming out. You can play bishop c4, again king f1, king g1 ideas here, and this is much better for white. You'll say that black is an exchange up, but white is going to win this knight back and also has the bishop pair, also has better pawn structure. So of course it is white that is pressing in this position. But if you go for the move knight takes f1, now c takes d5 is not possible because of the move knight takes e3. And now if you were to take here, black can probably just castle, like, okay, let's see a line, d takes c6, maybe let's say black castles, fe3, and this king is not escaping. This king is getting checkmated as king d3, queen d3, maybe bishop is coming here. A lot of things that is happening. The rooks are going to join, and this king is going to get mated very, very soon. Let's see what happened in the game. Okay. So in the game, Divya took on f1, rook takes f1, and now Divya I love this move again. Divya long castled. Black's position is so beautiful right now. I don't see any problems for black. all pieces are developed. This king is in the center, this double pawn structure. I mean, very difficult for white to, try to get some play here. Vaishali took, Divya took on d5. Here, Vaishali played c4, asking the rook to go back, but Divya played rook a5, queen to b3, and knight b4. A very beautiful move. Notice how you can't take this because this is hanging, and also with some knight c2, threats, because this square is defended. So Vaishali plays king d2, knight c2, and here probably Divya could have gone rook e8, put some pressure because the king is very weak. Going into the endgame with just a pawn up isn't going to assure you of a win. But Divya was very confident and she just liquid liquefied this into an endgame. And as you'll see, black is a pawn up. It's opposite color bishop. This knight is on the rim. I wasn't sure. I was watching this game live. I wasn't sure how Divya is going to convert this. And my surprise, Divya played very accurately. Best moves after best moves. Most of the moves that were being played on the board were totally, I wasn't able to even comprehend them in such quick time. Both of them are playing good moves after good moves, and especially with the opponent like Vaishali, we've seen in the Olympiad, we've seen how in world teams Vaishali often ends up with bad positions, but then keeps playing fast, keeps putting pressure on the opponent, and the opponent finally cracks, and Vaishali gets the win there. And Vaishali was again trying that. She's playing fast, she's playing accurately. Divya was low on time. There was some back and forth. There a really lovely move found by Divya. You know, pawn to a5, especially when you are just a pawn up, and just giving up a pawn like that isn't easy. I mean, there was a there was little back and forth here, and then Divya finally queened and Vaishali resigned. Okay, so if you were to ask me what was the highlight of the game, I probably two moves stand out for me. Probably the first move that stands out was, I mean, that is okay in their level, but queen to e7 was a very smart, very, very smart and a very tricky move. And another good move that I really loved was knight takes on f1. I mean, look at this situation. You're leading by a point. You are getting a rook here. You can like literally be an exchange up, but you understand why is this bad, and you take this bishop for a 16-year-old to show this level of maturity. I mean, I'm just shocked to see this level of play. Uh, just great, accurate play. Divya didn't let her advantage even slip for once. She was better of the opening. She was better in the middle game. She never let Vaishali have even a slightest of chance. She was pressing throughout the game, and I think a well-deserved victory and a well-deserved national women's chess champion title. The For a 16-year-old to win such a prestigious tournament is quite a feeling. I mean, just great game from her. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did enjoy the video, do consider subscribing to the channel. And if you did like the video, do give it little upvote. And since I'm not used to making chess videos, if I've fumbled here and there, uh, excuse me. And if you want to give me some suggestions, do write in the comments below. Okay, see ya, cheers.